Okay, really good question is, how do I find investors? Do I ask my mum? Do I ask Uncle Roger? What do I do? Well, they're kind of everywhere, but let's now talk it through so that you've got a complete understanding. You know that saying, you don't judge a book by the cover. Well, you don't judge a book by the cover. You don't know. I have bought 2 houses on trains dressed in hoodies. I love the fact that nobody knows what my portfolio is worth on a train. And why should they? I just look like somebody who's into a little bit of fitness, right? So how can you judge a book by its cover? How do you know what somebody's got in their bank account, and how do you know what they want to do with that money, what they want to achieve with it? Unless, guess what? You ask. I'm just going to say that again. You ask. And one more time, you ask. So you don't judge a book by its cover unless you don't like them, in which case off your list, and you ask. How do you ask? Well, A, if you're starting in property, you're probably brimming with excitement and people are going to be interested. B, if you're now looking to raise private finance, because like almost everybody that ever started in property, you don't have enough money. And that was me as well. And that's most of my friends who've been really successful. You are going to have to raise finance at some point in property. Loads more videos, but let's talk about how do you actually get started in raising finance on this particular video. So you have 3 key questions. So you probably go to property events, or you might be going to property events, in which case, great. People are already there, there's shared excitement over property. But I have found investors on jury service, at breakfast meetings, my cousin, my best friend, my other cousin. So there is a friends and family thing going on there as well. And of course there is, okay? So let's just talk it through. You're going to be talking about how excited you are in property, and people are going to be like, so let's talk about the casual, and then let's talk about the actual raising finance, the targeted one. And people are going to be like, oh, Suze, that sounds really interesting. What do you do? And you want to be kind of excited about what you're doing, talk about being able to source discounted deals, making money about property, buying and selling, buying and keeping, but you're being held back because you don't have enough money. That is the common situation for everybody that more or less ever did anything in property. And then when they start asking you more than 2 questions out of politeness, you can see there's an in-depth interest. So there's one of 2 reasons for that. Either they're thinking, I can make money with that person, you know, with me, or they're thinking, I'm going to copy what they're doing and do it for myself. So now you need to figure out quite quickly, are they going to copy? If so, great, good luck to them. I think you probably just made one of your friends or family really rich in 20 years' time. Or are they thinking, do you know what, I don't want to do all that hard work, I want her to do it, so maybe I could lend her some money? You need to ask, why the interest? Is it something you're looking to do yourself, or perhaps you might have some funds that may be of interest to you to get started in this? And they're going to go, Suze, I haven't got a bean, but I want to do it myself. Or actually, I do have some in the bank, and I've always thought about property. I know it's a really good thing. Okay. Is it something you want to talk about further? Because it could be something we could work on together. And at that point, have a conversation with them briefly, but a second meeting. Don't go straight into a pitch. It's so off-putting, like, whoa, slow down, steady. Because if they are saying, yeah, you know what, I do have some money in the bank, they may or may not name how much money straight away. Me, I'd go straight in and go, what's your objective, what's your time frame, and how much is your pot? And I'd find out they had, you know, £200,000 savings. I'd then say, look, I'm really interested in talking with you about this further. Let's do a brief outline just now, maybe 10 minutes, because I don't want to hijack whatever conversation we were having about, I don't know, Beyonce's dancing skills or something. And actually, how about we set either a telephone conversation or a meeting? Because I want them to now have agreed, or not agreed, but agreed to a meeting with an agenda, rather than just slide in sideways to, oh, go and give me some money. By agreeing a telephone or physical meeting with an agenda, and by the way, that was Paris's phone, but we're going to keep rolling. Don't worry about it. Do you see? Nothing should put you off, all these bumps. They're now coming into that meeting going, we're going to talk about the possibility of me investing. Do you see? It's like a frame. It's like, this is what we're going to talk about. And is there any other business? So then I either go to the meeting or have them come to me or have a telephone meeting, which is, let's talk about the possibility of you investing. There you're going to talk about what I do or what I'm trying to do or what I will be doing, where you're currently at, how much you need to raise in total with your fundraising campaign, how many properties you intend to do, what your predicted broad brush outcome would be, all the things that could go wrong. And you're also going to show them your brochure. You have one, don't you? If not, hop onto my website, download mine and have a good old copy of it. Take legal advice, obviously. And you're going to show them your business plan. You have one, don't you? If not, hop onto my website. I've got a pack on showing you how to do business planning. It's super easy, just step by step. And the legal documentation that you're going to produce, because would you lend somebody money if they didn't have their legal docs ready? You have them, don't you? If not, guess what? Hop onto my website. Obviously take legal advice, make sure they're fit for you, but those are the exact documents I used. We have to call them sample legal documentation. So what you're going to do is you're going to have a meeting about the principles of working together. You will find out either pre or during that meeting how much money they've got, and you're going to give them what you might call collateral, your business plan, if you're still in a job, your salary, if you only have your own house, or your mortgage statements to show how much you're worth at the moment, show them your bank statements to prove that you're solvent, and show them the sample legal documentation and your brochure for raising private finance. That sounds quite a lot. Well, it does. But are you serious about this? I raised 100 grand in an hour. I raised £1 million pledge in 4 hours because I took it seriously and I prepared this documentation. Now, do most of them read the documentation? No. But what it does is it gives you confidence that you're actually quite professional at this. It gives them confidence that you are prepared and ahead of 99 to 98% of the population, and it kind of gives you both a focal point to talk about. You know, when you're looking each other in the eye, you're like, shall I talk you through the legal documents I usually use? Did you have a good read of my brochure? Shall I talk you through it now? So by using this sort of third party, not prop, but third party thing to look at, you are both now side by side working through the process. So even if you're asking your Auntie Jean, your Uncle George, or your best mate or your cousin, I would always say that once they've shown an interest, move it to an agenda meeting with formal documents, legal, brochure, business plan, and evidence of your current net worth, because then it moves from matey to formalised process. So you can feed your friends and family that you are happy to borrow money from and happy to lend you money, or you can feed strangers that you start to become interested in working on as partners and colleagues into the same process. I hope that's useful. That is about how do you start raising money when you don't know how to do so, and what is the first step process. Typically 5 to 9 touch points before somebody will invest with you. They're never going to give you money straight away. That would be weird because they don't know who you are. So you want to talk to that person a number of times before they decide to work with you or not. You need to prove where you're at. Never tell lies ever. If you're new, you want to be showing them the kind of deals you could have bought if you had the money. If you are very experienced, you're going to show them years and years worth of deal delivery like we used to do. I hope that's useful. Speak to you soon. Key question is, how do I get started in property? Write yourself a plan. I have written you guys a pack, how to write a business plan and deliver business success in property. You can download it now.